Happy spring, Christy.
Happy spring, Kathy. I
Thank you.
am so happy that it is light later,
Yeah,
or the days are getting longer too.
yeah. All good. The
All
whole
good.
the time change thing sucks, and I'm glad there's some conversation about not going through that every year. But I too am just thrilled to see more daylight. All good. All good.
Yes, yes. So we're sitting
Yes.
here, and even though it's evening enough for us to have a cocktail, it is still light out,
I have
and
a
that's
smidge here
wonderful.
too.
All
Yes.
right. Well, I can't wait to hear about your book.
I'm so excited about this.
I
I
know.
um I've been I oh oh I've been anticipating I've been anticipating my choice for a while, and so I'm excited to talk to you about it.
Yeah. Well, I saw it already.
I know, but shh.
Okay. For those of you just listening,
Yeah.
Kathy almost gave it away on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Okay. Anyway. Okay,
All right.
so you're going first today.
Oh, I am. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I think last time I did it, you went first.
Mm-hmm.
So I will go
I'm
first.
so
And
curious. I think I have an inkling.
my book is
Mm.
The Survivors by Jane Harper.
Okay, look at that cover. Like, does that
Yeah,
not just pull you in?
I know. And that's how this whole book
Is
is.
it really?
Like this cover, this atmosphere that you see
Mm-hmm.
here, this is prevalent, the atmosphere of the book.
Oh. Okay, so
Yeah.
why I want to always make sure we start with this. Why did you choose this one?
Well, I chose it because we we were talking about on one of our podcasts on places we
Mm.
wanted to go,
Yes.
and Australia is one place I want to go. And
Yes.
I can't remember who the author was, but she mentioned
Was it Veronica?
Jane. I think it might have been Veronica, and she mentioned Jane Harper.
Hmm. No, you know what? It was Maggie. It was Maggie who
Oh
talked about
yeah,
it.
yeah, that's
Hmm.
right. And she said, "Have you read any of Jane Harper's? Because she's Australian, and it's
Yeah.
all and her books are all set in and the setting is awesome. This is set in Tasmania, Australia,
So is
and
Tasmania the west side of Australia?
south. It's
Okay.
an island. It's
I had a 25% chance.
yes, it's like farther south, so it's colder in Tasmania, um, because it's closer to that end, and
To that
it's
end.
what is it like? It's one of the largest islands, I would say. I can't remember when I was looking up something about it being,
I am
you
not a
know.
geography person here. I wish I was. My husband, if we could have him sitting here and he could tell you all about this, all the
Oh,
facts.
cool.
He
Well,
loves geography, but I just oh,
I do know it's south because I did look on the map just to see
hmm.
in relation, and it's like
Yeah.
almost directly south. And this was set on the coast in a small town there that it's mostly a tourist town. So, I think it's because it's so far south, which would make it colder and stuff.
Hmm.
It's very seasonal. It's like going to an island, like maybe up in Washington, like you're thinking, like you like to
Hmm.
go to or
Hmm.
something.
Yeah.
So the summers are the fun time, but it gets just real small town in the
So
winter.
this is where the book is set.
Yes.
Okay. And is Jane Harper also from that area, or is she?
She's Australian. She was like her history is like she was, I think, born in England, raised a lot in Australia or something
Hmm.
the other way around, and then she spent a lot of her life in England as well as far as getting educated
Interesting.
and stuff,
Okay.
but then in the last 10 years maybe she's been back living in Australia. And she
Okay.
lives in Melbourne, which is also south on the mainland of Australia or the main island.
Hmm.
It's land. I mean, come on here. It's huge even though um and so, but her books have all been set from what I can tell in different parts of Australia, like in the outback and stuff.
Mm.
And her first book, which was only like 2016 or something that it
Oh,
came
okay.
out. They've made a movie about
Mm,
it in Australia, and I think
cool.
it's coming to the US. Maybe it's not here yet, or I
Oh,
think it's a
interesting.
movie. I mean, you're talking winging it. I didn't do as due diligence research. I looked this
Yeah.
stuff up
No,
a
good.
while back,
Yeah.
but anyway, regardless, The Dry is the name of the for her first book, and that one. So she's a bestseller, and so this is her most recent, and
Fabulous.
it's her fourth, and she has other ones in the works. So she's but these are this is a standalone.
So are these like thrillers or are they fiction? What do you
They're
think is
they're
genre?
they're crime fiction,
Crime fiction. Okay.
but they're parts thriller, part suspense, part mystery. I don't know. This one, there were some parts that it was a little harrowing, but it worked more like a mystery to me.
Okay.
Um, it's kind of like mystery slash thriller, like I like to say about, my book, because there's definitely, you know, little times where things get a little hairy or something, but there's always this overlying danger that's prevalent, that's like this
Don't you
atmosphere of
think Australia
danger.
is just ripe for that? Like,
I know.
I feel like
But
Australia
I
is
always
just
think
ripe
of
for it.
Australia, just sunny, blah blah blah. But because this is in an area that is colder and stuff, and the premise. So I'll tell you. The premise was there was this huge storm like 12 years ago. Several people died for various reasons, or disappeared, whatever, in the storm. And so then here we are 12 years later, and the main character has come back. His parents still live there. He was like 18 when the storm happened. And so he went off, his brother had died in the storm. So he had a lot of guilt about everything. And then his dad has early onset Alzheimer's
Hmm.
or dementia. So he's dealing with that. The mom is moving, so they all come back. He's got a baby now. His wife was reconnected, like at college or uni, I think is probably what they call it. But
Uni.
yeah. So anyway, they come back, and then another murder happens, and all these secrets and things come
Cool.
up.
I
And
love
so,
that. That's a great
that because of
premise.
the storm and the
Yeah.
ocean plays prevalent in it because it's coastal,
Oh, I love that.
um, that picture right here just looks like it, with the
Mm-hmm.
storm clouds and the, cliffs, and there's caves and
I love um the element of water in mysteries and thriller, any fiction,
hmm
because water. We look at the ocean or a lake or a river, and we think, oh, peaceful, but it is so capable of so much more. And so I always think
right,
that's such a really cool element
absolutely.
to add. Oh, I love that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I recommend it. It's good. It's a real good read. I
It
enjoyed it.
sounds really good. I want to read that
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. And
So, what are you drinking to match with it?
yeah, so
Yeah, so because that's what we're here
so
for, Christy.
of course,
Christy, we come for the crime, but we stay for the wine.
I know. And that's exactly how we're going to do it, by the way.
Okay, because I've been
I
debating
Cuz
that.
I talked to today, and I Connor, and he
I've
agreed
gone
that he
back and
came
forth
up,
too.
but that's the
We'll talk about
best.
that later, everybody. But yeah, that's just a little precursor.
Something to come. I'm winking. I lied. Okay, so the wine is called The Banished. It's a 19
Oh,
Crimes, which
that's
we've done
perfect.
19 Crimes
Yeah,
before.
we
I don't
have.
know
That's
that if we've
perfect.
done The Banished,
I have
but
drank the Banished. I don't know if we've
right.
done it in the podcast, but it is a perfect pick for today.
I know, because it's from Australia, Southern
Hmm.
Australia,
Perfect.
Southeastern Australia.
Oh my God, that's perfect.
And The Banished, it kind of, with the crime, and then, with the small town
Yeah.
and the way people banish people if they
Well,
feel they're
and that's isn't
guilty, or
don't we all believe that that's how Australia was kind of founded,
yeah.
right? With
Oh
people,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah,
it's
those
accurate or
bunch of
not.
criminals. Bunch of criminals. Anyway, but so the description of this also, then when I looked it up, I was like, okay, of course I'm going to like this. Full and round on the palate with distinct sweetness, making the wine rich and mouth coating. The dark chocolate and vanilla aromatics complement subtle flavors of cloves and cinnamon spice.
That does sound like you.
Yes. And it isn't sweet. It's not a sweet wine for those
No,
of
but
you who
it's got
like
a
sweet
little
wine.
bit.
It's not like a
Yeah.
port or anything, but
No, I think like sweet like berry. Not like a.
hmm
I think that whole 19 Crimes line, they just do a great job. And they're a great
hmm
gift wine because they're so interesting and fun to talk about the
I
labels.
know. And I think it was
Yeah.
like $12,
Oh, yeah,
12,
that's so great.
13. So I got that, and then I just chose that because one, it's Australia. Two, it sounded good. Three, in the book, one of the characters is seen drinking red wine a few times. So I was like, okay,
Good
that's
enough
good
for
enough for
us.
me. Yeah.
So, what
Jinx
would
on
you
you.
pair if you were doing a book club?
Well,
If we were in
it
the
has
same
to be
locale.
it has to be seafood
Hmm.
because and a lot of it takes place in this restaurant, the local restaurant bar, which is called the Surf and Turf. But but yeah, so it would have to be seafood, and I was thinking like something if it was going to be something easy for a group of people is like shrimp on the Barbie, skewers of shrimp.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and you can add whatever you want to it. You can just have it with other different
I
things,
love
or you
shrimp.
can, I know, I do too. So, so that
I love
was,
all seafood, all of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You could do multiple seafood things, because they're right there on the water, and it
Yeah.
is. I mean, the sign on the place is like we serve here what comes from there, and there's an arrow to the ocean or something like that,
We serve here what comes from there.
Yeah.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yep. So that's mine. And
I love it.
I'm going to go and read all her other books. And then we're going to
I was
go
going
to
to ask you that.
Australia and do some wine tours because that's going to be what season, which season can we do this? This is after you've published, I've
Oh, like season
published, and
8. 8. Okay,
it will
we'll
be,
take
will be to do the Australian tour.
Australian Tourist season 8. Well, good choice.
Thanks.
I'm really excited to add Jane Harper to my to be read list. I think that it sounds like a great book, and I think I would start with the one that you just read.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
chose that one because it was the most recent, and
Hmm.
everything. But I want to go back and read The Dry and
I know.
the other
Connor
ones
was
she's.
telling us that the Dry is now streaming on Showtime, and it's starring Eric Bana. Is it
Oh,
Bana or
really?
Bana? Bana. Yeah.
Banya.
Banya.
I don't know. I have no idea.
All of the accents are courtesy of Christie. Okay, so
All right.
I'm
So
excited. Yeah.
and he
What?
told us that this is the 26th Tasmania is the 26th largest island.
In like the world?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's the largest island,
Antarctica probably.
Connor? He'll let
I'm
us
pretty
know.
sure well,
For those of you who are listening, we put on the quality of podcast that we do because of our sound editor. He's so helpful, and he is a really good editor.
so
In case
he's
you're
not
interested
really
in
just
hiring
an
him.
editor, he's a
No, he's like a
producer.
producer for sure, for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna up it. Oh,
Yep.
Greenland is the largest. Oh,
Oh,
surprise! Or it's the biggest. What's the difference? Biggest, largest. I think
biggest,
I
probably
just
what
said it before he typed
size and
it.
versus population? Who knows? Okay, so I'm going to introduce my book now. May I, please? I'm so excited.
I guess.
I chose Run, Rose, Run by
Oh,
Dolly Parton and James Patterson.
oh my gosh! What a combo! Oh
Listen,
my
the
gosh!
minute I heard that they were doing a book together, I was like, "That sign me up! Sign me up!"
Oh my gosh!
I I think both of them are pretty phenomenal, to be honest with you. But I admire Dolly Parton like at the like next level. I'm not even that much of a huge country music fan. I just
Hmm.
think she is the most phenomenal human.
I
Like
agree.
truly one of the like top 10 phenomenal humans
I
that I could
know.
think of.
And you
And
better just knock on wood because we don't want anything weird to come out. You know how everything always seems to come out about people. I'm like,
no,
she's pretty much an open book.
there is nothing coming out about Dolly Parton.
And
She's
yeah,
too phenomenal. Let's do
yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
no. So I do love I love James Patterson anyway. I read all of his, not all of his books, because who can keep up?
Yeah, no, actually, yeah, that would be
But I
impossible
do
almost.
love his partnerships. I like the book he did with Bill Clinton,
Oh
two
yeah,
books.
I did. Yeah, I read that
I
one. That
enjoy
was
them very much. And I like these partnerships that he's doing. I think that's really cool and interesting. And I just really have come to admire Dolly Parton. So I knew I wanted to do this, but in fairness, as you know, I always, every month I take a pile of books that I do audition all of them. But I have to say this one came in as the forerunner. Like I was like, oh, it's gonna be hard to
yeah,
push Dolly off. Like
yeah.
Um, so I did end up going with this. I did enjoy it. It was a fun read. You and I talked just a few days ago. I hadn't started it yet. It's just, and I think James Patterson's books are always like this. They're just pure entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
fast. He has short chapters and just keeps you reading.
Yeah.
Also all of the James Patterson markers are there,
Mm-hmm.
but definitely Dolly's footprint is all over this. Like, so it's about a aspiring songwriter singer, right,
Mm-hmm.
who's heading her on her way to Nashville, and her name is Annie
Okay.
Lee Keys. So that was a good name. And Annie Lee has got some stuff in her past, and she faces a lot of I a lot of crap that I think a lot of young artists face, right? Like
Uh-huh.
predatory agents and managers, and like every door to get her into the business
This
is
sounds
like,
so good.
oh, it
I
is. It's
love
just,
reading about that kind of stuff.
I know. I'll tell you a quick one of the opening, like the opening scene. Annie Lee is down on her luck. She's hitchhiking. It's raining, like all the crap, right? So she passes up a couple of, this is just the first 2 pages, so I'm not giving anything away. She passes up the first few rides because they don't look very safe, or they don't look like good choices for her.
Right.
And so she gets in with a trucker who he assures her, like, he's a good guy. He's married, he's got kids. She falls asleep and he is all over her, threatening
Ew.
her. She ends up pulling a gun on him and taking his trunk.
Now I like her. All right,
I
there you
just fell in love
go.
with her immediately. Like that was like, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is the book.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's Amy Lee, and is she has this, this back life
Mm-hmm.
that's coming to haunt her, and that's the mystery piece of it. But she also meets up with this kind of woman who, at the other end of her career, who's been there, done that,
Right.
and just wants to step away from the limelight. Like she's a big, solid
Can I
star.
guess? Is her name Rose? Why is the name of the book Run, Rose, Run?
Her name is Ruth Ann.
Ah!
I'm not going to tell you because I will give too
Okay.
much away.
Okay.
But I will tell you this, that Reese Witherspoon's company, her movie production company, picked this up. And
Oh.
Dolly Parton is going to be a producer and said she wants to play the role of Ruth Ann, this
Oh,
mentor, older.
cool.
And I was like, oh, like, I mean,
Yeah.
Reese, Dolly, like,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Oh, that's going to be good.
Yeah. So listen, here, it's a great book. It's a great read. It will not let you down. It's completely worth the buy and your time, and super entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another thing I love about this, in addition to just Dolly, because like I love her, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think she's brilliant. But she's 76 and James Patterson is 75.
Wow.
And love, I love that that is how we are doing our 70s. Like that's
Yeah.
how we do our 70s, right?
That's
I love
amazing.
this. I love
Yeah.
that. I absolutely find that to be completely inspirational, aspirational, and exactly who I want to be when I'm 75 and 76.
Awesome.
That's all I have to say.
That's amazing too.
Yeah. So, okay. I gotta tell you, so this is it.
So yeah, so what's the wine and food?
Okay, this is what I'm very excited. This is why I didn't have to write a script today, because I knew I'd just go off cuff anyway, and you know me, I'm never listening to the script anyway. Okay, as you know, I have been talking to you for years about my uncle's wine club.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So we get together with my aunt and uncle every few months. We just really enjoy we just enjoy socializing with them. We always like easy peasy appetizers, order pizza, and he always brings over wine. I always have wine too, but his wine like kicks my wine's ass. Like it's like I always put my wine out, and then he brings his, and I'm like, oh god, like he
Yeah.
always brings like these fabulous bottles of wine. I've never seen the label before. I mean, literally never not had one that wasn't fantastic.
Okay.
And I don't know, a couple of years ago, I'm a little slow. So a couple of years ago, I was like, where are you getting these wines? Because I know they're not from our local, liquor
Wine
store,
store.
because we have one.
Yeah.
I have the merchandise like memorized. Okay.
Okay.
And so
I
he's
kind of
like,
know that because I'll be like, "Oh, Kathy, do you guys have
and I'm like,
this
no,
in
we
your
don't.
area?" And you're like,
No, we
"Don't think
don't.
so."
So, so I kept asking him. He's like, I told you, I'm in this wine club. Like, it's just, and I was like, I don't want to be in a club. I'm not a joiner. So,
Plus,
I'm not.
South Dakota is not real,
No, no.
receptive to these
And
wine
that did
deliveries.
change recently. So
Hmm.
I finally, and I was going to do it after the holidays because they were here a lot over the holidays, and he brought over a lot of wine. God bless him. And at the in the back of all the labels, it would say the wine company, and I had kept them in my mudroom, and my husband nicely disposed of them, thinking he was being helpful. And I was like, no, I finally was going to get that wine label, and so I knew. Anyway, I came over recently, and I was like, all right, what is it? That night, I went online and I ordered my first shipment. And that's what I'm having today is my first wine from nakedwines.com.
Naked wines.
I know.
Are you?
Isn't that
And for all of you guys listening, Kathy's naked right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, I'm very committed to this concept.
Just her wine is naked.
So I pulled up my first one. It is Scott Peterson Rocks, ROX. And I went online today. And so what's really cool is it is literally from the producer to you. Like there's no middle
Yeah,
people.
that's really cool.
It's so cool. So you're literally supporting the farmer, and they call people like me who buy the wines like angel investors, even though there's no
I don't
commitment,
think they're
Christy.
called farmers. I think they're called vineyards or vintners.
Well, they call themselves farmers in my world. But
Really?
anyway, I'm from
Well,
South
they are
Dakota.
farmers, really.
Yeah, they
I
are.
don't know.
And so, so for the first time today, I went online, and there's a whole thing. Scott has his explanation about the wine,
Cool.
and he told me that I needed to decant it. And so for Christmas, my girls gave me a decanter. And so I decanted
very
it.
nice.
So I decanted it, and it said for 30 minutes. So I did. I did have a sneak little peek while you were talking about your lovely book. I have to tell you, this wine is phenomenal. It's so good. It is
So
so
what is
good.
it? What is that one? I mean, what kind?
It's so good. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Mm.
And I'm going
I didn't know if it was like a red blend or what.
no, it's a Cabernet. And I'm going to hop over here to his explanation. So it's an Argentinian wine.
Mm.
But what's so cool is it's a fruit-driven Cabernet. It says this bright fruit-driven Cabernet is crafted with Scott's hallmark, no-holds-barred style, densely packed with powerful, intense, red fruit flavors that lead into a luxurious, long-lasting finish.
Mm.
Anyway, they give the whole
So I just want to,
thing.
I have to
Yeah.
interject a little
Yes,
bit
please.
because you keep saying Scott Peterson and I keep thinking of like the
No,
murderer.
no. Why would
Well,
you
we're
do
a
that?
crime podcast.
Oh my
I
God.
mean,
Poor Scott of Rocks Wines. That's not Scott Peterson.
sorry, Scott.
Scott
It's a very common
Peterson,
name.
the
There's a lot of.
non-murderer. The
Is that what it says on
non-murdering
there?
type. No.
It looked like you read it. I
No.
was like, that's what I'd put on the label.
Yeah. So I just am so delighted that I finally opened my box and I finally have my first one, and it is
I am
as
excited for
delicious.
you, and I'm a little jealous.
Can you
I
tell
have
I'm
to say.
excited? Like,
Yes,
I'm
I can
stupid.
tell.
Here's the other thing that's really cool about this. There's no like obligations. It's not like you're signed up for a year or anything like that.
Hmm.
And they give you 100% refund guarantee. Like, so if I didn't like this bottle, I could just tell them I don't like it, and they'd be like, okay, fine, we'll give you your money back. And we'll give you
Okay,
a new
so
one.
we're advertising this for them, and
Well,
I think that's a good thing.
This
Yeah,
is where
I'm
I
gonna
buy
do
my
it.
wine.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I live in Timbuktu, right? Like
We
it's
need
a
to get a
far.
special code so they know that it's our
I know.
listeners.
And
We'll check into that.
I ordered on Friday and I got my case on Wednesday,
Mm.
which I thought was really great. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
thought it was really good. So anyway, so it's a perfect mix for this lovely book, and I would pair it with carrot cake. Look
Did
at my
you
carrot
make
cake.
that?
No,
Okay.
Costco did.
Everybody has
Oh,
to go on YouTube and watch how
I
Kathy
want to
just
eat
put
it.
her. You can still eat it. It just
Oh,
went
I am
into your
gonna eat it. But what's
computer.
funny is look at my
Oh, look
script.
at.
Look at.
Oh, you have to hold
So
that
here's
up. That
my.
is
Are you
so
seeing it? Here's
funny.
my carrot
Oh, we'll
cake.
have to put that
This is my
picture
script.
online. Oh my God. That is perfect.
Anyway,
The
if I
script
was
likes
to have,
that choice as well.
if I was to do this for a book club, because of the southern setting of this in Nashville, I would go to southernliving.com and use their carrot cake, just so you know.
Okay, well,
This is
Costco works
hilarious.
good too because
Look at this.
I know. I'm like, that should just be the theme anyway, you know? Get some sort of like
So excited about my
rice
book.
paper or something you can also eat and then be like, okay.
I'm so excited about my book and my naked wine.
I know.
And then I dropped my icing.
Yeah, but you did it so beautifully.
Thank you, Christy. I appreciate that.
Well,
that's what
you
I've
know
got
what?
today.
I think we had some good choices. Let's see. Is there any commonality? Because the last
I
few
was going to
months,
ask you that because we did a lot of weirdly similar things last time, but I don't really think there are any
I think
this time.
there is no commonality.
So we're really not that special, apparently.
Well, we both chose red wine. How's
We
that?
don't, because that's like called a Monday and a Tuesday and a Wednesday and a Friday and a Saturday.
Ah, speak for yourself, youngin. Oh, wow. Well, that was fun. And I want to read your book, and now you want to read
Yes,
mine. And
I
I got
do.
like last month's GOB I had the Christie Affair.
I didn't
So
see
now
it
I
there.
have that to read. So
Is
I
that
just
your
have like
aspirational living? Like that's your
this, I'm
aspirational.
like so, I mean, sad for the end of this season, but kind of happy because then I'm going to be able to catch up on the reading over the summer.
I was going to say, we have a lot to go before we end the season.
I know. I know.
Like I counted today and I'm like, I have like 9 books still to read before we get to
I
the end
know.
of the
Don't
season.
even say that. Don't even say that.
Mhm.
I'm on the next one at least. But yeah, there's a few books that I've wanted to read
Yeah.
just for pleasure as well. Although these are surely pleasurable.
Well,
but-
I'll tell you, my book stand underneath Run Rose Run
Mhm.
is our next month's giveaway.
All
Look
right.
at by happenstance. Is it
I
Emma?
got it right back there under my
Is this?
alligator.
Is it? Do you know? Is it Emalia?
I don't know.
I
I
don't
just have
think-
to ask her.
And Lydia and Katie. And then, of course, Veronica's book came. I got Veronica's book with a cover.
I don't have Katie's because I'm reading hers. It's by the bed.
Okay.
But I have Davita's book and
Whose book? What?
Davita. You see, you don't even know who's coming up, do you?
I don't have Davita's book.
Davita Breyer. You don't have Sinkhole yet.
Oh, I do have. No, I do have Sinkhole.
Okay.
It's just not here. Sorry, I do.
And then William Moz, I think. Is
Yes,
his
that does
first
not look
name.
so good.
The Bucharest. I know. We have some really
We have some
good books.
really good stuff coming up. I know. All right.
That's what we're going to be doing, just reading. So the spring showers, come
We'll
on.
be reading.
We don't care because we're going to read.
All right. Well,
All right. Well, we just have to
it's
cheers.
been fun. I know. Cheers.
I know. And everybody go to our website, follow us. We got all these books are going to be given away. All
And
ones.
Go to
And
Naked Wines.
Naked
Kathy's-
Wines.
We're gonna hook
and
you up because I'm
we're
telling
going to
you.
hook you up. Go to our website and we'll give you a link.
Cheers.
And cheers.